Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Real Views Show. Real views from real people. In this episode, we are looking at the film Mufasa, The Lion King. First of all, I just want to say apologies for not uploading one of these for a long time. I've seen a lot of big movies, I've seen a lot of good movies, seen some interesting movies, and not all exclusively, separate from each other, but I will make my way back around to talking about a lot of those movies. But, basically, long story short, I've got hand, foot and mouth disease from my little one who picked up at nursery. And, yeah, man, I was out here just slowly face falling apart kind of thing. Missed out on a week of work, missed out on some gigs. But, it is what it is. A lot better now and, more importantly, not contagious. So, yeah, there was a lot of things I couldn't make it out for, but also, for obvious reasons, I didn't really want to record my face. Maybe that's just the vanity in me, I don't know. But anyway, like I say, feeling much better now. I was thinking about changing the format and just having it all just as recorded, just vocally and, whatever. But I was kind of, a bit feeling sorry for myself as well, so I wasn't really up to recording much, to be honest, at the beginning stages. So anyway, I'm out of it now, so that's basically part of the reason why. And also, it's that busy time, it's time of recording, this Christmas season, a lot of gigs and a lot of stuff going on, family and all that, so it happens. I think most creators take a break over this time, but this is probably the only time I actually get to do just this, so is what it is. And like I said, we're talking about Mufasa, The Lion King. I went to see it with my wife, Ebony G, who also joins me on this, and she has a lot of interesting and sometimes intense feelings on this one. So definitely worth checking out. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. As usual, there are time codes below in the description if you want to skip ahead or avoid spoilers, or you just want to put this part on loop because you just start seeing my face, whatever. It's all good. I can't blame you. I saw so much rubbish sometimes. This movie is obviously a prequel to The Lion King, the live action one, which I can't remember when it was released. We're getting into some more, but also obviously this is like one of the first sort of, not one of the first. This is like another of the sort of adapted. Live action adapted reworks from Disney that it has more of an original story to it. So we're getting to that. So Mufasa the Lion King is directed by Barry Jenkins, written by Jeff Nathanson, based on the story slash film and characters created by Linda Woolverton, Irene Mecchi, and Jonathan Roberts. The original creator seems to be a bit complicated, to be honest. Like I came with a white line. This is something I might look into and tag it to the end of this, or do a separate video maybe, or most likely nothing at all. Like I say, busy times, isn't it? But check it out though. If you can Google Kimber the White Line, interesting what's going on there. Anyway, okay, so this is starring Pierre, Kelvin Harrison Jr, Tiffany Boone, Kagiso Lediga, Preston Nyman, Blue Ivy Carter, John Kani, Mads Mikkelsen, Seth Rogen, Billy Eichner, Thandie Newton, Lennie James, Anika Noni Rose, Keith David, Braelyn Rankins, and Theo Somolu. Hello, we are discussing Mufasa, The Lion King. I say we. I'm joined by the incredibly talented singer-songwriter, CEO of Blackbird Entertainment, boss lady, Ebony G.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. Well, I'm actually traumatised by what I saw, but we'll get into that.
We'll get into that indeed. Okay, so Mufasa, The Lion King. This tells the story of adopted brothers Taka, Kelvin Harrison Jr. before he became Scar, and Mufasa, played by the green-eyed wonder, Aaron Pierre, and how the Kingdom of the Pride Lands came to be. Also, more importantly, the origin of Rafiki's Kagiso Lediga, probably butchering that, / John Kani's stick. Origin of a Freaky Stick. That's what they should have called it. No, actually, my alternative title for this is Beast Wars.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, so first off, we're going to talk non-spoilers and then just sort of round off of how we found it. And just I've never actually done this, explain this on this show, but just so we're all aware of the rating system, tap it straight to my veins and say I absolutely loved it. This sandwich is filling. Is that you found it okay? Didn't like or didn't necessarily dislike it. Didn't think it was the best, and that's not it. It was rubbish basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's how you'll rate it at the end of what we talk about. But let's get into non-spoilers first. So if you haven't seen the movie, feel free to keep listening, people. It's all good, and time codes below as usual, so you can time travel for the episode as you like. Sorry, I'm boring you. Clearly. Anyway, right, so right, yeah, so we literally fresh off seeing this today, and at time of recording, I like this a lot better than I liked the not rubbish remake, but just the live action remake of the Lion King.
Yes, it was so refreshing to see just another part of the story.
Yeah.
And like the origin story of Mufasa, and it's just beautiful to watch. It's engaging the whole way through. Like not one part of it was I bored. I was so engrossed in the story. Just the songs were okay. There's some songs I'm like, yeah, and other songs I was like,
right,
don't know.
Yeah. Lin-Manuel was doing this thing, but there's some slight.
There's some things that he just tried too hard, and it's a bit like I don't know about that one. Thanks, for trying, but no. But yeah, just the journey and everything about it was so wisdom dropping. Like so often you'd get a line from it that would change your life forever. Seriously, I came out of there with so many pearls of wisdom, just so many life lessons, just beautiful concepts, and yeah, it's just great. I mean, when you watch the first one, when we were children and we watched the first one, it was so emotive and it was so inspiring. And they've captured that in this perfectly, like even more so, even epically, because it is a live action and adults can really take from it as well as children. But I think more so for the adults.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more engaging for the older members of the audience rather than the kids, especially younger kids, I feel. I think it was good as well. I think it was really had some really good messages in there. It was really like so many quotable moments. I feel like things you could just put on a t-shirt or a pillow or in a picture frame and it would work. There were a couple of things that I didn't find as engaging. I think overall you definitely enjoyed or at least got more out of the movie than I did, but I still think it was very good and very worthwhile a watch. Did I feel the 2 hour runtime? I mean, maybe a little bit in places, but for the most part I feel like it ran pretty smoothly and I was engaged for the most part. And it was a good, well-told story. I think it looked amazing when you think about it being like CGI animals and that, very realistic. But where I feel the Lion King live-action remake failed is the animals weren't emotive enough. Yeah. I feel like they went for the realism in a way that was detrimental to the story and the overall, because we've all seen, most people have seen the Lion King animated movie. And what's hard with these things, these remakes, is you're recreating these classics which people have grown up with and loved and seen time and time again. Yeah. And then trying to almost play for play do the same thing to some extent.
But then try add a little bit of funny here, a little bit of funny there with Timon and Pumbaa. It was kind of it was fine how it was. Yeah. So you now trying to add humour where there wasn't before is a bit I think they're trying too hard and it's not hitting as well as the old school humour. That's what was happening in the first one, but this one had the best balance of humour.
I think so, yeah.
And action and emotion, just all of that is so well rounded. They just done everything perfectly. For me, they did everything perfectly.
Yeah, and I think again, like I say with the live action things, when you're trying to redo these classics, unless you're changing it in a major way, or doing some kind of different story, which is great, which is what I love. More of this Disney, please, not the just rehashing the same thing, because it's just pointless. If I want to watch The Lion King, I'll go and watch the original animated version.
Yeah.
Did I check out the live action version? Yeah, eventually. But it's like, why am I watching the same movie but with real animals?
Yeah, that don't really look real. That don't really look like they're actually like emoting and expressing.
When they do look real, they look too real, because obviously lions don't, as far as I know, don't cry or make a sad face or make a really happy face. Or there goes the ring doorbell. Sorry about that. So when stuff like that, when you got this basically Shakespearean sort of kind of epic tale happening, and you've got characters that don't emote properly, it really kind of kills the vibe, Sorry, we're really banging on about the other movie when we should be talking about this, but like I say, this movie for me was very good. I feel like the voice acting and voice cast was done really well. It didn't just feel like, oh, get this famous person, guess that, whatever. I feel like the characters matched the voices. I could imagine Aaron Pierre walking around as Mufasa. Same with Kelvin Harrison Jr. as Scar or Tucker. I feel like it just really works really well. Obviously, Bill Eichner and Seth Rogen are great picks for Timon and Pumbaa. That hasn't changed. Rafiki, the dude who played Rafiki, I forget his name now. Kagiso Lediga, who played young Rafiki, would just embodied it great. He had the wisdom, but also had enough youthfulness that was different from John Kani's performance. But he still has that wisdom and gravitas because he is Rafiki. So I thought it worked really well. So overall for me, it was a really good film, really good watch, and just like I say, great messages. It was, you can take more away from it than just an entertaining Disney film.
Yeah.
Like, so much more, and much more than I would say even the original. I feel like those themes and those, messages and lessons that were talked about in the original are far more expanded upon and relayed in a more mature way than the original animated and the remake. For me, tap it straight to my veins.
Tap it straight to my veins. It got into my whole system.
Tap it to your tear ducts.
My whole body was just feeling the whole film.
That's right. Okay, so now we're gonna get into spoilers. So so throughout the film, obviously you got Lin-Manuel Miranda on the soundtrack doing a lot of new original songs for the movie, and like I say, most of them were great. Most of them hit for me anyway. I enjoyed them. But you also have like sort of Hans Zimmer original score from the original movie playing throughout, which I just loved. I just loved hearing just the echoes of that, even just some of the strings coming. It brings back. It's obviously a nostalgia bait, but it just brings that soundtrack to me is like one of the greatest animated soundtracks because they just encapsulate the sort of grandeur of the regalness of it, but also like the story, when the stampede hits and all that kind of stuff.
Of the situation, is just in the music.
Yeah, or even just the nobility of, Mufasa or Simba, ascending Pride Rock is just like, yeah, man, you just feel it all, So that was great to hear. But Lin-Manuel Miranda, I got in my notes here, Lion-Manuel, all corrected to that, but that kind of works, But yeah, I think it smacked it with the songs. But
and then for me, I was hit and miss with the songs. There was a few songs. The one that said "Bye Bye,"
I was just about to get into that.
I was like,
that song was.
It basically comes at a time where the I guess the white lions,
the outsiders, the white lions,
the outsiders, so the villains basically, are trying to take over one of the normal pride.
Basically, their whole thing is just getting rid of all the other lion prides.
Yeah,
so that
they just want. Yeah, he wants the.
They want to own the whole thing.
Yeah, the main guy wants to rule everything that the light touches, which is absolutely everything.
Yeah,
in the
he
world.
wants to be the only one.
So he comes in and it's all big and it's all grand and it's all, oh my gosh, everyone's scared.
Yeah,
and then he starts singing this dead song about like bye bye. I don't know how it goes. I don't care for it. I really don't care for it because I was just like, this is not. It just killed the whole vibe.
Yeah, for me,
we were actually scared of this thing, of this.
The tension was great
lion.
at that point. Like, you know, when you just have a really tense
moment.
And
then he came in with the song, and we were like,
took it all away. Took it all away. No. And for me, I don't know. Like, I don't think the song was great, but I don't know if I like it even less because of the moment it came in. So, like you say, when it came in, it just killed the tension, and it took away any like sort of fear or threat that character had.
Oh, absolutely.
They suddenly it's just like some singy joke. And I know it's a musical, but you know,
it could have been more serious, more serious song.
Yeah,
like it had elements of Be Prepared. But
yeah, sure, but it wasn't that moment.
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't as scary as that song. So
well, I don't even. Be Prepared has scary moments, but overall, it's like a villainous, braggadocious sort of, almost like when you get a villain monologuing or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what that song is to me. Yeah. Whereas this, it didn't need that in that moment. Yeah, true. This is the big bad in his full threatening mode, and then suddenly he breaks out singing. I'm like,
you're like, okay.
If he's gonna do it, it needs to be like a really serious song. Yeah, and I think that, to be honest, I think that's a tall order. So I don't know if it was a case of not the right song, or just a case of maybe don't have a song there.
Yeah, true. Exactly. Yeah. So a few of them, we were just like, don't know about that. But there's one about them doing things together that had quite an African feel about it, and that was really, really well written.
Yeah, had an African feel to it.
Really, really good. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it was really good, and there was
almost like a horizontal kind of vibe.
Yeah, it did have that.
So my brother's like bouncing to it, like, this is good.
Yeah. What was your thoughts on the brother song? You are my brother.
Oh, so I didn't like that. The brother. I don't know. It was kind of forced.
It was it did
I don't
feel
know
a bit
what
weird.
was forced about it. It's the way
they pronounce brother, and you were saying about the different accents as well.
Yeah, I said they got British accent going on, they got American accent going on. Someone out there's got an African accent going on. So it was kind of like, what, you're all saying it a different way, and it's jarring me. It's jarring my ear to listen to you say it in the first place, but then when everyone's saying it differently, it's just jarring my ear even more. So I didn't like that.
Yeah, now that you mention it, actually, it's like the whole way that brother was phrased, it felt like it had a very African twang to it.
But sang by Americans.
That's or British. So I think that was part of what grated it. Because to me, I liked it as a song, but I just found that phrasing really strange. And that's what kind of put me off. But I like the concept anyway. So any other songs you can think of that really sort of hit for you? Or
when Nala and not Nala, Sarabi and Mufasa were kind of getting close to each other. That I see you, that kind of line.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember that from Avatar, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's their thing, isn't it? That's what I see you in Avatar. So
yeah. But did they ever say that in The Lion King before?
No.
Okay.
But I think it was like just because it was more story based, because this is the point where basically, long story short, Mufasa saved Sarabi from an elephant stampede, but then because his brother Taka likes Sarabi, he pretended that it was Taka that saved her. And
then she kind of remembers Mufasa saying to her,
I've got you,
Sarabi, I've got you. And then she's like, it was you who saved me,
Yeah.
not Tucker. And then she's like, I see you. I see
Yeah,
you
so
for
she's
who you
literally
are.
saying, I see you. Yeah, exactly.
So she's singing that. So that was pretty. I
That-
thought that was
yeah,
nice.
that was
but
nice.
I wasn't like, it's not.
Can you feel love?
Can you feel the love?
But, you know, I mean, you know what?
You know them iconic songs. I mean,
I get
like
you.
I say,
Yeah, you're right. Though,
it's
you're
a
right.
tall order
It's a lot.
be writing songs in the same vein as these songs that were written, 20, 30, 40 years ago now.
Yeah, that are now
That's
classics.
not 40, it's about 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
let's calm down.
Let's calm down. We're not that old.
For real.
So it is a tall order, yes. But you then need to write classics. My guy, if you could write songs for Hamilton, you could definitely write classics for Lion King.
What I feel like is like, you know, when you're...
I'm not going to be singing it in 20 years' time. I'm not.
Well...
Rather, no.
Yeah, I guess so. But I think when you've written songs like Hamilton, whatever, or even Encanto or Moana...
Encanto. Even Encanto was better than written in this.
But it's hard because then you're always expected to hit that. And
Well, it
not
should have
everything
been
you produce
easy.
is that.
No, it should have been easy.
I don't know.
It would have been a walk in the park.
I don't know. I feel like some of the songs are growers and some of them just maybe just aren't.
There was one that I was just like, I like this. The rest I was like,
interesting. I was a bit more, yeah, and no, you know, I was a
No,
bit
but
more.
you know when you hear a song, you're like, yeah,
Okay,
what's
yeah,
this?
okay.
Like, that's what I expected to feel.
Okay,
And I felt that once. Not
Would
even
you-
that. I was just like, I like this.
Would you say nostalgia aside and
Mm-hmm.
trying to put aside the fact that you were kids when it came out,
No.
with
I know what you're going to say.
with the Lion King, were those songs that came out were all of them just most of them just
They
bangers to you?
were, yeah. Well, I was a kid, innit? What did I know? But
To be fair,
I used to watch it all the time. So,
Yeah,
of course,
but-
they were my bangers.
but to be fair, I think I remember the first time watching it, kind of coming back to me now. The first time watching it, I just can't wait to be king.
Yeah. Circle of Life.
Circle of Life.
Even in the second one, He Lives in You.
Oh my gosh, my
are you
tune.
mad? Are you mad? Where
They
were those
just hit
kind of
instantly.
songs? They were
Even
none of these songs there.
Hakuna Matata.
Flipping Tata.
Hakuna Mufasa.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a dead joke now that I
was
think about it.
dead.
But I liked it at the time.
So yeah, basically Timon and Pumbaa. So basically the whole thing is Rafiki's telling the story of Mufasa to Kiara.
Kiara, yeah.
Kiara's
in this.
Simba's.
Blue Ivy plays
Simba's-
Kiara, and she did really well, actually.
She did.
It
Which
felt
is
like
Simba's
nepotism earned to me.
child. Not even nepotism, man. The girl did a good job.
She did a good
I'll be putting my son forward same way for jobs, yeah. Let's all bring in the money, shall we?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, there needed to be more bangers. I don't think Lin-Manuel was writing to make bangers like all the ones we've heard previously. Lion King is probably like the biggest, in terms of songs, the biggest Disney film for churning out bangers. So get them writers. Get those writers. I don't know what possessed them.
What, you don't think Lin-Manuel was the guy to
He
hire?
wasn't the guy.
Really?
He wasn't the guy. Not
interesting.
for the songs he came out with. No. I would have been like, can you either rewrite them or get me the guy? Who is the guy?
Yeah, I guess.
What's his name?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I used to know this.
Find a guy.
Alan Menken.
that him?
Menken.
Look at you, Disney geek.
Trust me. I used to do music all the time. I've got to know the songwriters. Is he still alive? Anyway,
Maybe that's
they
why.
should have got him to write bangers for this because it had
reanimate him
it
if he's
had
gone.
that
Rest in peace.
it had the film itself had everything that the original film had but the songs. I think that's what let it down.
Yeah. Okay.
It didn't let it down. I enjoyed the whole thing like wholeheartedly, but what could have been better was the songs, 100%.
Okay, fair enough.
So anyway, the story, the story. Oh gosh, if you've got family trauma, then
Oh my
don't.
gosh.
Then just have a bit of therapy before you watch it because all of your trauma will just come out in this tear. I was crying from the beginning to the end. The way that the brothers connected in the beginning. So basically, Simba is with his mum and dad.
Mufasa.
Oh, sorry.
Flippin' heck.
He's so small. I just already think it's Simba, right? Mufasa is with his mum and dad. And then there's a flood that happens within 5 minutes. Within 5
true.
minutes of a
They're trying to
raindrop,
kill
a
off.
single raindrop.
Yeah, I swear it was a drizzle.
It
We
was
we live in England, yeah, so we
Yeah.
know about rain, yeah. So
Like, how did it
this
happen?
is like fam, like It's like when you come out of work or whatever, and you walk into your car like, oh man, I better run because it's pouring down. It wasn't that. It was like, I can just do a nice leisurely walk.
It was a light drizzle, and the next minute we know the whole family flood out.
Ronaldo got order.
Flood out. A whole elephant was coming down the thing.
It's true. Where did that elephant come from?
Where did the elephant come from?
What are you doing?
Literally, there was a dam, and oh gosh. So basically, the poor cub Mufasa is now stranded. No mum, no dad, nothing. Floating down the river on a stick. Ends up in another like Pride land. And then Tucker spots him. It's just like, you're about to get eaten by alligator. Alligator nearly yams him up. Yeah. Tucker saves his life. His mum helps him drag Mufasa up. And they're like, can we keep him? Basically, they're not in lion world. They're not allowed to take in strays, apparently. So
in this Pride.
Okay, in this Pride world. I thought it was a rule of all lions. No,
I mean maybe.
Anyway, so the mum's like, yeah, we'll keep him, and then the dad is the king of that Pride, and he's like, no, we're not allowed. We don't take in strays. Da 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 da. And then they're like, oh,
that guy's a waste man, by the way.
He's a waste king. He just wanted to laze around and do nothing all day. So this is why Tucker turns out to be a waste man, because his dad...
getting trained by his dad, basically.
Yeah, his dad's a waste man, so...
When really the women are doing it. Like, lions are waste. Lionesses make the Pride happen.
Seriously.
If it was just up to lions...
The lionesses go out, they hunt, they come back with the food. Like, what? Really? Why are the men not doing anything? What's going on
And
there?
actually, when you think about it, when he becomes Scar and he's in The Lion King, he runs the Pride the same way.
He does.
When the lands are getting barren, he's like, "Why haven't you come back with any food?
Yeah,
I'm here. We're waiting for food."
Exactly.
They're picking bones out of his mouth, like, "Fam, get up and do something, innit?
Exactly.
Get involved."
So,
sorry, I'll totally threw you off. Innit? You were talking about.
So yeah, they say the king, the waste man king, says, "Okay, if you guys do a race, if Mufasa loses." Then
I eat him.
Then I eat him.
If,
calm down. You're that hungry. And if my son loses, then you stay.
Yeah.
So basically, they're running. And what set me off in the first flipping instance, Tucker, who eventually becomes Scar, is such a nice young cub. Like, he's so friendly and so nice.
And so desperate for that brotherhood.
Desperate to have a brother. So they're racing and Tucker's winning. But then he said to him, Mufasa, can I just tell you another secret? I've always wanted a brother. And then he starts slowing down. And Mufasa's, that's something. Mufasa's dad used to say, you're the fastest cub.
Oh, yeah. So
and I thought, is that going to be a callback somewhere? Is that going to come in handy somewhere down the line? Like...
No, it wasn't really, but I think
it wasn't. No,
I think it's just a moment of like when parents like gas up their kids, and their kids absolutely believe it because they have no reason not to believe it.
Yeah,
and that was really a nice moment. I know that obviously for some kids that can turn them into arrogant little whatevers, but in this instance, it was just a nice moment. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
I guess it's just a sentiment of we believe in you. Like, we believe that you're the best.
Exactly that.
Yeah, nice. Anyway, so yeah, then Mufasa wins the race, and then obviously the Pride get to keep him. But I started crying because I was just like, wow, like Tucker is such a nice cub. What happened? I was thinking like, wow, like something bad must have happened to make him turn out the way he did turn out, because he was so desperate to have a brother, so nice, saved his life. Like,
saved each other.
They saved each other throughout the whole thing, and it was so beautiful to see that relationship
and that love connection. And support.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you've got like siblings that you are just not close to, or there's some trauma there or whatever, sort it all out before you watch this film, before you start crying in the cinema like a mad woman. Anyway, man. And it was good. But and then I turned to Miles and I said, either love or money breaks up a relationship, right? And obviously the lion's in it, so they're not gonna have money.
I don't know. I might have a stack of stones or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Stack of goats. So he, Tucker was in love with Sarabi, And then obviously Sarabi's kind of like feeling Mufasa because Mufasa's actually it. He's actually it, guys. He's gorgeous, and he just knows things. Like he's hunted with the female lions, so he knows how to hunt. He knows how to protect.
Almost like a super lion.
He's a super lion. He knows how to sense things that are far, far away. Like, yeah, crazy. It's just his intuition is perfect.
Yeah.
And she sees that, and obviously he protects her, and then she finds out he protects her, and then she falls in love with him. He falls in love with her, even though he was trying to set his brother up to be with her. He then couldn't help his feelings.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
I think part of it was being seen as well, because being a stray, he didn't really have the same sort of status.
Yeah, he didn't have any status. I think Sarabi was a princess, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She had a little bird with her, Zazu. And he was just like any lion, but with all these gifts and talents. And it just goes to show, like, throughout life, if you feel like you haven't got the status, or you haven't been born into money, or you haven't had any kind of special upbringing or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can use what you've got to then create the life that you desire, or not even that you desire, that you're meant to be. You can become something. You don't have to be it right now, but you can become. That within itself was so powerful.
But I want to just go back to Scar as well, or Taka, or whatever you want to call him, Taka Scar. My main, if I had a main issue with this movie, well, I do. My main issue with this movie, and we mentioned it as well, was that his sort of descent into Scar and like the bitterness and whatever, it's just it seems so like quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were just like, all it took was for Sarabi to be like, oh no, like Mufasa, for him to switch so hard as well. Not even just to like have a little tantrum, but no, I'm going to now betray these two who I've known.
I'm going to get you killed. Basically.
Yeah, I'm going to get you killed. I'm going to go to the people we've been trying to run away from, form alliance to them, get you guys killed, and then somehow maybe try to overthrow that king, or I don't know what his plan was.
I don't know. I really don't know, because it's like, he's like, Sarabi doesn't like me back after we had little to no connection, and she likes my brother, of whom we supported each other and saved each other's lives. Yeah. He clearly has organic chemistry with her, but
But then he kind of remembered what his dad said about like being a king is about one of the tools to use is deceit.
Yeah.
But going
dad's a waste man.
Yeah, going to the villain king who killed your dad in the first place, and your mum.
And your mum.
Yeah, who you love.
How'd your kids, how'd your wife?
Yeah, exactly. Who to then take out the brother that you're supposed to love, and it's just like it was too sudden.
By the way, your only family now.
Yeah, he is your only family, and he's helped you get to this nice land. When you've been surrounded by snow and nonsense dust for like ages. So it was a bit like, is that all it took?
Yeah.
But then, as you pointed out,
the it was all there. Like the materials were all there. Like so throughout, like there's a point where what's it?
There's
like
the white lions
come and attack. Do a first attack, and Eshe is the mother of Taka, and Taka witnesses the attack. Mufasa saves Eshe, but Taka also had the opportunity to step in, but he ended up running away. Yeah. Which is fair enough. You're scared away.
Basically.
Well, I mean, it's either fight or flight, isn't it?
But he's a coward, and Mufasa isn't. Yeah. So at every turn, Mufasa's there to help save and protect and whatever.
Well, Mufasa is scared of water.
Okay, but in the end,
he overcame it. But I'm just saying, like, basically,
he was only scared of water because he didn't grow up around water. Like, he didn't even know what rain was.
No, he's scared of water because it took him away from his family.
Yeah, true.
But I guess the point is that Taka allowed himself to be consumed by fear, whereas Mufasa, for the most part, moved through it. But yeah, so there was just like little opportunities throughout, where he saved the mum, and then the dad said he was in forever in debt to him. And there was just little moments throughout the movie where you could have just shown that little niggle, that little bit of, bitterness growing inside of Tucker, jealousy, whatever you want to call it. And just slightly, not like in a huge way, but just to like build up to this.
Yeah.
Where it just felt like everything was cool, but you take the guy I'm interested in, done.
Yeah.
Whereas, this should have been like little bits of resentment just building up throughout. But they just didn't show that.
And a gradual decline in their relationship.
Yeah, but none of that was shown.
Yeah, it was basically everything was all good, literally up until the point where Sarabi then decided to be with Mufasa. And it's like, how could he do that to me? And he, like I was saying, that he did a whole little bit of a song where he then went up into the mountain and then was on a ledge, fell off the ledge and like slid all the way down to the enemy, basically. I was like, he must have bumped his head or something, because my guy started speaking more British.
Yeah, like the British evil accent boy just came through like hard.
It's just like, I need to be more evil now, so I'm going to speak a bit more British. And then, he just like completely turned on his brother. So it was kind of like, wow, that was a really hard decline, but actually... Yeah, like I say, in all these instances...
I knew that was going to happen. So I haven't worked out to program this watch properly.
All the instances were there. They just needed to show the gradual decline in their relationship and for that to be the final straw. Yeah. And they didn't do that.
It just didn't make no sense.
It didn't make sense.
It didn't play out as it should have done.
Yeah.
But, also, going back to Evil Accents, you were absolutely hating this one white lion.
Gosh, there's one white lion, right? Right, so basically, we heard... the king one talk, and he's quite...
I think it might have been... I don't know. I think it was Keith David who was playing him. Yeah, I think it was American. I do think it was Keith David.
And then he had two lions either side of him. One was definitely had an African accent.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the next one was like, hey, my pretty, like a wicked witch of the West. Like, it came out of nowhere.
Definitely overcooking the evil accent.
Yeah, so much so that I was like...
Minion.
Did they come from the wrong film? And then every time that person spoke, I was just taken out of it completely, because I was like, this accent has come from absolutely nowhere. That kind of weird witchy sound. I thought, oh gosh,
I found it quite funny.
They found that voice from Wicked and just planted it there because no one else was available, and it just threw me out. I was like, no, don't talk. Don't speak.
We'll wrap up soon, but I just want to say a couple more things. Is that I've talked about this even before the film came out. So I have a theory, right, that so obviously the white lions are the villains in this, but I have a theory that Disney has sort of slightly tried to do this on purpose, because I don't know if you heard about a film called Kimba the White Lion, which apparently was made before The Lion King. It's practically the same story, right? And but I feel like, Disney are trying to make us hate the white lions subliminally, so that we hate Kimber the White Lion, if anyone remembers it or whatever. And therefore, we automatically think that there's no way that Kimber can be the OG Lion King, because the Lion King is the OG Lion King. You know what I mean? It's just a little theory I have. I don't know if it's true. I've never actually seen Kimber the White Lion, so I don't know how close it is, but I don't know.
We were saying, are white lions a thing? Like, is that a real thing?
I don't think they're a real thing.
I'm going to Google it right now.
Yeah, Google it. It'll be interesting. Maybe they're snow lions. What else? I had another theory as well. Okay, so this is a bit far left, right? But is Mufasa actually like low key the evil mastermind, right? So this whole thing about the circle of life, right, is like, so imagine you form this kingdom, you unite all the animals, right? Some of these animals which are in your food chain, yeah. So you eat some of these animals, yeah. And then you say this whole thing called circle of life. You remember in The Lion King, it was like the great circle of life, is explaining the symbol like yes, we eat the antelope, but then when we die, we go into the grass and become, and the antelope eat us. It's the circle of life. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's cool to say that away, but like, you're still eating up antelope, you know what I mean? Like,
you're gonna eat my auntie, is what you're saying, and I've got to be all right with that, because then what? Then you
I eventually eat you. Nah, fam, because you murdered You murdered my auntie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I died. You die of natural causes,
Yeah.
and then I just so happen to eat where your ashes are spread or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like this is. I don't know if this is all equal here. You know what I mean? So.
But it was interesting that they were calling, at the end, they all needed to work together in order to defeat the enemy.
Yeah.
Because they were saying, like, our problem is your problem as well.
Yes, right. I love that message, actually.
The white villain lion was saying, don't run. It's not you that I'm after. It's just Mufasa.
Yeah.
But Mufasa was saying, let's all work together because when he comes after me, trust me, he's coming after you next.
Trust me, he wants your thing next.
He's going to want all of you next.
Right,
so
right,
if we work together to help me,
everything the light touches, fam. That's what he wants. Everything the light touches.
Exactly.
Do you know how much light there is in this place? They ain't got like high-rise buildings and that.
Yeah. So it's very much like a absolute wake-up call to the whole world. Don't just think...
Especially, with things, the way things are right now, going on in the world.
Yeah, all the wars and stuff. Don't just think... It's somebody else's problem.
That's
over
there.
there.
That's
it's
over
their
there.
problem.
Don't bring it over here. Don't let us get involved. Don't let us get involved.
If you don't sort it out, it will end up being your problem.
Because when it comes to you, trust.
Remember COVID? Oh, that was a Chinese problem. Okay, great. Let's spend the whole year in your house. All right, if you don't have a house, tough. So how about we all just work together to defeat the common enemy?
That's what it takes, man. That's what it takes.
That's what it takes. And it really spoke to us about that. And I was really happy that they put that in there, to be fair.
Yeah, and I hope people do take in that message who, people who see this movie. I don't know how well it's doing, but I think our screening was quite packed. And I think being the time of year is a lot of people are off. The kids are now off school. Yeah. So,
Great timing.
Yeah, it's a good time for it to come out, to be honest. It is going up against Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which I'll talk about in another episode. But still, from what I can see, it looks like it's doing all right.
Guys, it was the best film I've watched this year. I was invested in every single moment. I cried at every bit that you're probably going to cry at. Just everything.
I wouldn't say it was the best film I've seen all year, but obviously I've been watching a lot of movies this year, so, but it was good. It was a lot better than I thought it would be, and had a good time. Very entertaining, very...
So can I just say about... It was also not... what's the word? It wasn't harsh on Scar. So basically... It was kind of like saying, well, he was heartbroken, giving him a reason for being the way he was, rather than being like, oh, he's an evil lion, da-da-da-da-da. It was actually like, well, this is the reason behind it. So he was perfectly normal. So it just gave him a softening and an understanding, which we didn't have before. We had no clue why he was weird or why he was even called Scar. Do you know what I mean? But Mufasa said they can never call him by his name.
And Scar actually gave his name, actually.
Scar gave him a name to call him so that he remembers kind of what he did.
Yeah.
But he got his scar. Basically, he did find his courage. And we forgot to say that. So it was actually a decent moment from Scar where he saw that the bad white villain was going to possibly kill Mufasa. And his mum's words came back to him like, your courage will find its time to come or something like that.
Yeah.
And... his courage rose up and he stepped in when the paw went down to try and strike Mufasa.
Yeah, the death blow. He basically saved Mufasa's life again.
Yeah, isn't that mad? The death blow didn't kill him, but actually...
But I think because
he's been battered.
Yeah, basically
he just came in as a fresh lion.
Yeah, exactly.
And his eye took the beating, bruh.
Yeah, fam.
His eye just got scarred up. Yeah.
Scarred up. Interesting, there's only one scar though, innit? You would have thought
as a lion...
there'd be like 3 at least.
That's true.
But, it's just a movie, innit? You gotta make the origin happen somehow. Also, I gotta go back to Rafiki again. Like, this guy was such a don.
Oh gosh.
Like, there was, I think, a part. If I was gonna cry at any part, it would have been this part. Is where so basically Rafiki is, he's quite in this. He's a lot more whimsical than he is in the original Lion King. Even though he's quite whimsical in that. But
times 1,000.
It's like, it could be like a magical Negro trope, but because they're all African and they're black, it doesn't really work. But anyway, it's like he has visions and dreams, and he talks about this, getting to be with his brother, finally be with his brother again when he gets this tree. And you think like there's this other mandrill like there just waiting for him, you know, the way he talks about it.
Yeah.
And then they finally get there. They make it to the land in Melee, whatever they call it. And you wait. You know, he's calling out for his brother. He's all excited, running towards the tree, and thinking, "Oh wow." And part of me is like, "Oh man, I don't think his brother's actually there." You know, I think it's just a bit mad, or maybe his brother's already dead or whatever, and you know, he's not actually gonna see him. And then he gets there, and then there's no mandrill. There's no other mandrill. It's just Rafiki standing in this tree. He's like, I've seen this tree so many times. And then, like, you know, Mufasa sort of walks up towards the tree and like, yo, Rafiki, man, where's your brother, innit? And then Rafiki's saying, I see my brother here. My brother passed a long time ago, but I see my brother here in the unseen.
It's basically saying that Mufasa's his brother.
Yeah, and you can understand now the relationship that they have, like, going forward. Like, it kind of works. But it was also just a really beautiful moment of this new brotherhood that was formed, and how Rafiki believed in that brotherhood even before it was there. You know, and just he really is sort of like the heart of this movie, not just the narrator, not just the wise sage or whatever, but really just like the heart and unwavering, you know, belief in the goodness of people and their potential, or animals should say, and their potential, you know, and also seeing in people or animals what they cannot see in themselves, even if they are refusing to reach the potential that they are, you know. And I think that was really just a really powerful and beautiful message. And I just last thing from me really, I think, is what a beautiful dedication to James Earl Jones at the beginning.
Just
like
stunning.
I think from then on, I think you knew you were going to get an emotional gutter punch.
Absolutely. It was so honorary to him, and I think he would have been absolutely proud of it. Yeah,
and I'm so glad they did it when they did.
Oh, yeah. It just, the timing is actually perfect. It's kind of like a...
almost like an homage to his character.
Yeah, and him.
Yeah.
As a legacy.
Him. Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Like you were saying, there's a voice of
so
many generations. So many generations.
Yeah, 100%. And it's, they've done him proud, I think.
Yeah. Was there anything else you want to add? Or?
No?
Yeah. So that's Mufasa, the Lion King. And decent movie. I think good for families to watch. Like there's a little something for everybody, but I think more so for the adults or the older audience. Not that it's like rude or, you know, extremely violent, other than what you might find in your David Attenborough or nature programs, but not to that extent possibly. But yeah, just that I feel like, I mean, to be honest, take your little ones to it. There's great messages in it, you know what I mean? But it will definitely hit more as an adult. Absolutely. Or just wait for streaming. But get out to cinemas. Cinemas are good people.
Support it.
And it looks good. It looks good on the big screen.
It does, and the sound. Woo!
Boy.
Jeez.
Good stuff. But yeah, I loved it. Ebony loved it. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. And we'll check you on the next one.
Tap it straight to my veins.
Tap it.
Yes, so that was Mufasa, The Lion King, another Disney live-action remake with some more original footage. Did you agree with some of the comments we were making there? Have you seen the movie? Obviously, I'm guessing you have if you reached this point. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was something different enough? Or should Disney just stop doing all this live-action rework business? But yeah... Ebony G, you can check her out on YouTube and Instagram. Also, make sure you check out Blackbird Entertainment, company owned by her and run by ourselves. Run by her, really, let's be honest. But yeah, they provide acts and entertainment for different events and venues and stuff. So definitely check them out. Blackbird Entertainment. Website is black-bird-entertainment.com, and yeah, you can find out more there, and also they're on YouTube and socials and all that kind of good stuff. yeah, how did you find the movie? Did you like it? What movies or TV shows or whatever would you like me to talk about next? Let me know in the comments below. And as usual, like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification button, all that good YouTube stuff or Instagram stuff or whatever socials you're watching this on. Actually, it's only on YouTube, but you know, you can check me out as well, Miles Reviews, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, obviously, and there's probably other stuff that I'm on as well, so check me out there. If you're interested in any of my music and singing and stuff, I go by the name Miles Rhetorical on other socials as well. But yeah, thanks for checking out this video. Hope you're enjoying the movies and the good times out there. Time of recording, hope you had a good old festive season, festive holiday. Spend time with the ones you love and care. And yeah, just enjoy those movies, enjoy that TV, enjoy life, guys. I'll see you on the next one. God bless and all the rest.